The final part of Ian McEwan's Atonement begins in a wartime hospital where Bryony, alongside other nurses, train under constant fear of being reprimanded by the hard Sister Drummond. Bryony becomes acquainted with another girl named Fiona while doing the tedious work of scrubbing, cleaning, sorting, and unpacking supplies. Bryony writes letters home to her mother, however they never say much, whereas Emily's letters are constantly filled with questions, those of which Bryony never answers. Bryony is working on a new novella which she has submitted to the new magazine Horizon, however she has not heard back from them in many months. Time passes and the hospital is becoming more and more crowded following the army's retreat from France. A letter arrives from Bryony's father saying that Paul Marshall and Lola are getting married. The next day, the trainees receive a half-day off, and after a walk with Fiona, Bryony sees a surge of arriving patients to the hospital. Bryony treats a number of soldiers, one of whom is a French soldier by the name of Luc. This soldier mistakes Bryony as his girlfriend, and Bryony plays along. She tries to tell him her first name, but then he dies. Time passes, and Bryony receives a letter from the Horizon critiquing her story. However, they encourage her to continue writing. Bryony goes walking through the streets of London on her day off, and coincidentally stumbles upon Paul and Lola's wedding. Bryony feels guilty because she believes that Lola must have tricked herself into loving Paul in order to cover the shame she felt after being raped, and Bryony furthered Lola's shame by taking control of the situation and blaming Robbie. She leaves the wedding after taking some tea from the cafe, and as she is walking, Bryony imagines splitting herself in two, with one Bryony walking back to the hospital and another approaching a door. The book follows the Bryony at the door, and when it opens, Cecilia is surprised to see her sister. They discuss how there would be no retrial even if Bryony takes back her accusations against Robbie. Cecilia says that the damage has been done, and she does not forgive her younger sister. Suddenly, Robbie comes out of the other room, yells at Bryony for the effects of her actions, and makes Bryony promise to tell the Tallis parents the truth. She agrees and apologizes for all of the trouble that she has caused. The section ends with BT, London 1999, implying that Bryony was the author of the book that we had just read. In the final section of Atonement, the book jumps many decades to London 1999. It is Bryony's 77th birthday. She has vascular dementia, and her doctor informs her that in the next few years she will lose her memory, and soon she will die. Bryony visits her childhood home, where Charles, her cousin Perrault's grandson, hosts a party for Bryony. There we see children performing her play that she wrote at the beginning of the novel, The Trials of Arabella, which flatters her. As she runs through the thoughts in her mind, she reveals that Robbie died of septicemia on the Bray Dunes in 1940, and Cecilia was also killed in 1940 by a bomb that destroyed an underground station. Bryony had never visited them that year. She simply imagined meeting with them, where she apologized, and she actually just walked back to the hospital. She imagines how Robbie and Cecilia would think of her play being performed by the children, and she drifts off to sleep. That was the final section of Atonement by Ian McEwan.